So, welcome to the second part of this tutorial, I guess. So now we are going to texture that barrel that we made in the last part. So we're here in Photoshop. You have to have Photoshop to follow this tutorial. So yeah, just get that in whatever way you can. So now you start up with this, right? Like scene. So I named my scene barrel. You just press here, press new, and you can do like which image size and everything. So I recommend always doing this size, and then later, depending on what like texture quality you want on the barrel or like the mesh you're making, you just change it later. So because this is a good edit size for iris. So okay, so we start here. Now I'm gonna duplicate this, just dragging it there, and delete this because this layer is locked. So just name this background. So what you want to know with the texturing is like the best. You always work with layers, and you try to keep as non-destructive as possible. So a lot of people usually just like clips if they have an image, they just take this part and like puts it where it wants to be, and that's bad because it ruins the image behind. So what you want to do is put it on overlay and have like a non-destructive workflow. Okay, so let's start. This background is going to be essential for what you're doing. Like you can change it whenever you want, but like in the beginning we just have this gray. So we press G here, just make it gray. Okay, so now we have this background here, and now we're gonna make the material files. So I'm just gonna create 4 layers. I'm gonna name this one Matte 1, Matte 2, Matte 3, and obviously Matte 4. So these are the layers where you want to put your textures that you implement. So I have a lot of textures here, or a lot, but I have some textures here. So you can just get these textures from like CG Textures. Is a very good site. You get free textures here, so it's really good. So yeah, just go in there and take the textures you want. Okay, so yeah, just get some textures in there. So here we have some nice wood textures. So I'm gonna use these. I'm gonna put this up here, so it creates in the new thing, the new like scene. So this, you can see the image size here. This is like not the resolution we're using for this, so we need to make it just bad just scaling it, because that never works. It just looks horrible. So with this tool, you press here. It's a really good tool. Take this tool and then you just hold shift, do like that. So here's a perfect square, and that's what we're working with. So now you press this, and now you press enter, boom. So now we crop this. So now the image size is this. So we want it to match this one. So we just type in 2048, and boom, the texture is the same resolution now. So now you just press Control A and Control C. So now we copied it, and you just press here, Material 1, boom. Now you have this. So why this background layer is essential is because this is what this is the master of all the textures. Like you put every texture almost, no, not that one, but you put the textures on overlay or multiply. So you just do that. Overlay means it takes like the bright in the picture and puts it down on the gray. So here maybe we can try multiply, and you see it's like that, and without this it will look like this. So it's like adds more depth to the texture. So we can just press, or I'm actually gonna save this because it's always good to have a picture that's square. So we just press X there and we bring up another picture. So let's take this one, just like that, and we'll do the same thing. Hold shift down here, press crop tool, enter, boom, square, image size 248, Control A, Control V, material, boom. So you see now it got like this. So this texture added on top of this and that. So if we change this back to overlay, now it looks like this. So I want this texture to add some noise, because without it just looks like this. It's really uninteresting. But if you add like noise like this, you can probably take this down a little bit, take this down a little bit. So like this, that's probably it's good. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get another texture from CG Textures. Okay, so I got this texture from CG Textures, and I'm just gonna save this. Okay. Okay, so I got this texture. Now, you don't want this. This is very bad, because it's obviously not wood. So we're just gonna crop it on this side, press crop, enter. So you can see a little part like still there, but we can fix that easily by, we can take a part, we just mark it like this with, oh yeah, you press M to pick up this tool, otherwise you press here, and you press V, and then you should press Alt, and you see these little two arrows. Just duplicate that, put it there, like so, and now it looks good. It looks better, but you can still see this little edge here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the patch tool, and we're gonna make a little ring here, and then just move it somewhere else, like there. So now it looks a bit better. We can take another one, put it over there. But now it looks like it blends in. And this part, you don't want to have to like distinguish parts, because it makes people see if it's tiled. So we can also use this healing brush tool. Press Alt. You can press somewhere here. Then you just paint like on top of the place where you wanna hide, and it like copies. So you just paint over like that, and if you see it gets this value, this is not good. So you just take another part and V, Alt, take it down there. You can do the same like this, and then back to this tool, press Alt there, just yeah, just cover up these edges. Oh boy, like that. So I guess that's okay. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, so now we just changed the resolution to 48. I'm just gonna save this, and then Control A, Control C, put it here. So now we got some texture to it. So this one maybe we can put a multiply here, so now it looks a bit better. we can actually, you can see this like this color is really strong. So what you can actually do is you press Control U, make sure you have like a backup of this texture. Then you press saturation, take that down to 0. Still like uses the information on the texture but not the color. So that's pretty good. And this here, you could probably saturate this a bit, like so. So now we have this, and this is like I would say this is pretty good. And like here, if you wanna change this background, you can make it like darker. So now we made it darker. We just do that. Now it's darker here. So yeah. Okay. So now we want to add another layer to it's called color variation. So this layer is it's the best layer, I think. You need to press here and press color, and then you just take like these crazy colors. You just take like bright red, press B, get that brush up, and then you just do this. Wow! And then you can take another color, and then you just do this. And then you take this color and do this, like completely random. And then you just take down the opacity like this. You take it down so it's barely visible, like barely. So now we added some variation in the texture. Makes it look more interesting in the game if you put it in a game. So this actually, we could put this down to 1. So now you can barely see it. You can see some lines some here and there. Okay, so next is soft. It's called soft. This is if you want to add, this is gonna stay on normal. Is if you want to add like these stuff on the texture. If you want to make it darker, like here, you just do that. Take the opacity down. But I don't really use that layer that much. And next one is gradient. I'm just gonna create all the layers now, and then we'll go through them later. Okay, and next is blobs. I'll explain everything later. We just put this folder here, and we call it texture, like this. So now we just put everything in there. Everything in there. Oh, there. Okay, so now we have this folder. So this is our texture folder. So now we create a new folder, and we name this one AO. So here we create a texture or a folder, and we call this one ambient occlusion. So last video, I can't spell. Last video we rendered, or we baked a map from X normals, and this is where this normal is, or this map is gonna sit. So here we create a cavity map. That's the other map we made, and this layer's pretty important. Additional shadow, and lastly lines. Okay, so now we create another folder, call this one detail. Just create a layer inside that folder called detail 1. And now we just create a diffuse folder, and we just put everything into that folder. Yeah, we call this one diffuse. So now we could just have everything here. We have subfolders and stuff. Okay, so now we just add like a map folder, or no, firstly we add this, we press this little icon, hue saturation. This is to change the saturation of the layer, and levels. Now we have these there, and then we create another folder called maps, and this is where we put our normal map, and our specular map. So and then lastly, no, this folder is not supposed to be in diffuse. And these aren't either. Well, oh yeah, no, they are. Okay, so now we create UV. This is the UV where we're gonna put our UV. So here we have it. Everything is done. Okay. So now we can start by putting our UV in there. So last time we saved our UV, so now I want you to open the UV and just drag it on top of there. So this UV is not the resolution that we have there, so just go into image, 2048, boom, and then just Control A, Control C, press here, and UV. Okay, a quick fix. I just wanna make this fix so other people don't do it. So for a second, this is gonna appear in the video, so don't worry about all of these layers. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete my UV here, and I'm gonna make it the only one visible. So I told you to open your UV like this, and I told you Control A, Control C, Control V. Or wait, yeah, hold on. I changed the image to 248, and then I did this. Okay, so this is where I went wrong. So you see, the UV really ends here, or it's here, but in the actual UV it's by the edge. So it's by the edge. So I screwed up in the video, so I'm just here to fix that. So what you really should do is just gonna delete that. When you select everything, you press V, and you just press V and just drag it on there, hold down Shift, and then no. Well, yeah, I guess hold down Shift, move it like there. Yeah, like there, I guess. And then, yeah, that was not what I was expecting, but yeah, that gives you the option to move it. So yeah, just make sure your UV is like correct with the ones on Blender. I guess you could just like move the UV inside the mesh, but yeah, just a quick fix. So there you guys go.